Sometimes not responding is a response.
Well, you talked about how you found out that they're trying to set up Drake in LA at one
Right.
point. What exactly was that about?
That was about like him and Diddy were beefing, right? They had a little beef over something in Miami outside of Live.
I think Diddy allegedly to him or something. I think it was
Again.
over the Start from the Bottom beat,
Right.
where I guess it's supposed to go to Diddy and Drake took it and something silly like that.
Yeah, I mean, when I think about Started from the Bottom, I don't know what Diddy would have did with that beat.
Zero. That was a total rumor. Man.
Hey, tell me something. When you have a peanut butter jelly sandwich, if it's just peanut butter, it's just peanut butter. If it's just jelly, it's jelly. When you put it together, it becomes a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and the taste is undeniable.
You saying Diddy and Jay-Z is peanut butter jelly
Peanut
time?
butter and jelly.
But Drake just let the world hear Jay-Z's private warning about Diddy and his wild ways, and now those old Jay-Z lyrics are hitting different.
Like, what made you put hands on Drake?
I did not put hands on Drake.
Oh.
And I do not want any problems with Drake. Drake is, right now, that's all I got. That's all I have to say. He's putting in his work. I didn't do nothing to Drake. Drake is my friend.
So that was a total rumor.
It's like he's been dropping coded messages about Diddy this whole time, and suddenly, the pieces are falling into place. But before we jump too deep into the madness, let's rewind the clock real quick.
I remember when I was about like 17 years old, I was in a parking lot. I was watching Jay-Z do a show for an event at the time that was called Rock the Caravana. It was like the first time Jay-Z had ever really like come to the city and shown us love. And I was with one of my friends from school and I was in the parking lot. For me, that was really a moment that unlocked something in my mind. It made me realize that all this is possible, you know? So I wanna thank
Back in 2010, Drake was still the hungry newcomer on the rise, carving his lane after being signed to Lil Wayne's Young Money empire. That is when Jay-Z gave him one of the biggest early career stamps of approval, a feature on Drake's debut studio album, Thank Me Later, on the track Light Up. That wasn't just another
Footage
verse.
of this, based on people that I've spoken to close to the situation, Diddy really did punch Drake in the face.
Oh, I got that call 4 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
I was laying in my bed and my phone kept ringing. I'm like, why my phone keep ringing at 4 o'clock in the morning? So I go to look at my phone and it's my dude, man, he ain't no just random guy in the club. This is somebody that everybody knows.
Right.
He's like, boy, you wouldn't believe what happened. I'm like, what? Diddy just slapped him.
That was a cosign from Hov himself. For context, Jay-Z doesn't give those kinds of blessings out lightly. To a lot of fans, that moment felt like a passing the torch. Moment Jay acknowledging Drake as the next generation, while still sitting at the top of the throne himself. And the crazy part? That wasn't the only time Jay would link with Drake. In 2013,
For so long and having dealings with him, what was the first thing you thought when you heard the story about him allegedly punching Drake?
He said, Drake. I actually thought Drake must have said something wrong to him or something, or did something, or tried to play him, or something must have happened. I actually really didn't, I kind of just laughed. It's funny.
he blessed him again on Pound Cake, which many saw as another nod of respect. Then again in 2018 on Talk Up, and later on Love All in 2021.
Puff can't hear a hit? That's kind of crazy.
He still hear things from back then, that time.
Oh, got you now.
Right.
Okay, got you.
You can't buy it right. You play it for him right now, and it's hot. You can't buy it. This is why he's fighting Drake. And you hit Drake, but it wasn't a hit yet until Drake put the lines on it. And he's upset about that because he can't hear it, but he felt like he took something from him.
Each collab felt like Jay was both embracing Drake and testing him.
Sometimes not responding is a response.
Well, you talked about how you found out that they're trying to set up Drake in LA at one point. What exactly was that about?
That was about like him and Diddy were beefing, right? They had a little beef over something in Miami outside of Live.
I think Diddy allegedly assaulted him or something. It was over the Start from the Bottom beat, where I guess it's supposed to go to Diddy and Drake took it and something silly like that.
Yeah, I mean, when I think about Started from the Bottom, I don't know what Diddy would have did with that beat.
Almost like a mentor checking in on his student.
Directly, but LA get tricky. So, you know, when there are beefs and they are here, no matter who it is, like there's certain people that are gonna get called, and I'm one of those people. So, you know, I had privy, you know, Drake to a little information. Like I said, I don't know where it came from, but I always, you know, it's like my brother. So I hit him. I told him like, yo, this is what it is, but I got you. You know, we over here, and I'm pretty heavy, so. You know, we straight.
But even with the friendly energy, the relationship has always carried that competitive spark.
Drake and Game do a song.
What about it?
And Drake comes to Compton to shoot the video.
100. He shot it on Brazil and Wilmington.
What all happened during that video? What was that?
He pulled up, Drake gave us love, Stunner cleared it for me, didn't charge me. Drake didn't charge for the verse. Drake actually brought this film crew to film it for us. That's what he wanted to do. We was on the famous Brazil and Wilmington shooting it, you know, in the canal. We had to move blocks. You know, when we move blocks, we send the little homies to do what they need to do. Drake kind of seen some activity and, you know, shit. He did what a motherfucker supposed to do. He got out of there. So we sent somebody to get him. Bro, it's cool, that ain't for you, that's for us. Now, you know, we seen shit going on, but you know, we moving blocks. We're not just gonna hit the block without the block being right. So we had to make sure the homies, you know, when they cleared the block. He came back and we finished the video.
They've traded subliminals over the years, Jay reminding Drake he's still the boss. Drake letting folks know he's not afraid to stand tall next to the legends. But through it all, the dynamic has stayed clear. Hav is the general, the mogul who's seen it all.
Like, what made you put hands on Drake?
I did not put hands on Drake. Oh. And I do not want any problems with Drake. Drake is, right now, that's all I got. That's all I have to say. He's putting in his work. I didn't do nothing to Drake. Drake is my friend.
While Drake is the prime shooter, learning fast and building his own empire brick by brick.
You want to speak on Diddy, and it seemed that as if your focus turned to Jay-Z, his wife.
That's always been my focus.
Yes. What?
They're one and the same. Tell me something. When you have a peanut butter jelly sandwich, if it's just peanut butter, it's just peanut butter. If it's just jelly, it's jelly. When you put it together, it becomes a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and the taste is undeniable.
You're saying Diddy and Jay-Z is peanut butter jelly?
Peanut butter and jelly.
And here is the part that makes the current drama so wild. Word on the street is wasn't he just giving Drake inspiration, he was guiding him. From day one, insiders say Jay was putting Drake on game, giving him advice about how the industry really works, who to trust, and who to avoid. Hav wasn't just rapping, he was warning. Now people are starting to revisit those old lyrics with a whole new lens. Fans are saying Jay's been dropping subliminals about Diddy for years, not just vague industry danger talk. One fan put it plainly online. Why I'll remember when Drake first hit the scene, and Jay was on the track? Jay literally told him, here's how they're gonna come at you. That was subliminal. That was a warning. And now folks are circling back to those light up bars where Jay spit some real coded gems. At the time, it sounded like typical flexing from a veteran. But in today's climate with everything we know about Diddy, it feels like Jay-Z was leaving Drake a roadmap for survival. And the dots are connecting in ways nobody saw coming. Lines like Drake, here's how they're gonna come at you in disguise, in the form of a favor, and that chilling the Barzini meeting. Watch for the traders hit differently now. Back then, they sounded like just another clever Jay-Z verse. But looking back, those bars were less about rhyming and more like a mentor handing down a survival guide. Jay wasn't flexing, he was warning. He was telling Drake, expect industry feuds, expect favors with strings attached, expect smiling faces hiding setups as your profile rises. And now fans are connecting the dots. Maybe, just maybe, Jay was already warning Drake about powerful moguls like Diddy. And with everything that's surfacing now, people are asking, did Drake actually take those warnings seriously? Because the way things unfolded in the years after, it sure looks like he did. Let's take it back to 2014 when the Drake versus Diddy beef exploded out of nowhere. On the surface, it was about nothing more than a beat. The 0 to 100. The catch-up beat, produced by Boy 1DA and Frank Dukes, was allegedly promised to Diddy first. Word is, he claimed dibs on it for his own project. But Drake wasn't waiting around. He snatched it, dropped 0 to 100 without warning, and the record went crazy. It was everywhere: radio, clubs, charts. A career-defining smash. But that move came with consequences. Diddy, according to insiders, was furious. Fast forward to December 8, 2014. DJ Khaled's birthday bash at Live nightclub in Miami, who of the music industry, was in the building. Big names, big energy. But behind the scenes, serious tension. Diddy wasn't there just to celebrate. He was there to confront Drake. Multiple reports say that's exactly what went down. Word is, Diddy ran up on Drake, pressed him about the beat, and when Drake tried to brush it off with slick talk, Diddy snapped. Allegedly, he smacked the OVO right off him in front of everyone and told him point blank, "You'll never disrespect me again." That slap became one of the most infamous whispers in hip-hop gossip history. But this wasn't just about a song, it was about power, ego, and control. This was Diddy sending a message. And even 50 Cent chimed in publicly, saying what everyone in the industry already knew. This was way deeper than music. And here's where things turned dark. Because according to whispers that started swirling around Los Angeles at the time, Diddy didn't just stop at a slap. Word on the street was that Diddy allegedly put out a little bounty, a reward for anyone who caught Drake slipping. It wasn't an official hit, but enough to keep tension high and the atmosphere around Drake feeling dangerous. Suddenly, things started moving funny around LA. Drake's circle tightened up, security got heavier, and fans now believe this is exactly the kind of scenario. Jay-Z was warning him about years earlier: the smiling favors, the behind-the-scenes power plays, the industry giants who don't play fair when they feel threatened. See, folks say Drake already knew the beat drama with Diddy was coming. Hav had warned him years earlier: stay careful, play smart in this industry, don't get caught slipping. And when the tension in LA started bubbling, Drake did exactly that. He linked up with the Game, the Compton Bulldog himself. And let's be real, that wasn't just a casual link-up. That was strategy. Diddy might have had clout in boardrooms, but Game had something heavier reach in the streets. And when it comes down to it, reach beats clout every single time. Because while Diddy had influence, Game had certified respect in neighborhoods where things can turn physical real quick. And that reach, it allegedly saved Drake's life. According to insiders, Game later admitted he was hit up about Drake people trying to line him up, telling him to wet the dude up. But instead of letting shooters handle business, Game flipped the script. He pulled up himself, not to harm, but to protect. That move kept Drake safe when things were getting shaky in Los Angeles. But let's keep it 100, nothing in the streets ever comes free. There's always a price. Protection like that doesn't come out of thin air. When someone with Game's level of respect steps in, the tab is already running. So what did Drake do? He returned the favor the only way a rap titan could. He handed Game a record, and not just any record 100. Drake delivered the hook, the bars, and the energy, basically handing Game a hit on a silver platter. And he didn't stop there. They shot the video deep in Compton, right in Game's backyard. That wasn't just a collab for the culture. That was business. That was Drake sending a message. I've got allies now. I've got people protecting me. Don't test it. The whole thing was chess. Drake wasn't just boosting his West Coast street cred, he was securing his safety. That record was payment. That video was a stamp. And anyone paying attention got the message loud and clear. But here's where things get even crazier. During that very same video shoot in Compton, Drake allegedly got Spook Trail shook. Whack 100, who was on the scene, later revealed that Drake spotted some dudes lurking around, eyeing the set. Drake's energy shifted instantly, like he knew something was about to pop off. According to Whack, Drake straight up panicked when he saw them, realizing just how close the danger still was even with game on his side. The paranoia was real, and it all tied back to the whispers about Diddy having people watching, waiting, trying to catch Drake slipping. Drake didn't recognize the faces. Unfamiliar energy, random dudes in the cut-end just like that. Panic set in. He thought it was a setup. He thought the bounty Diddy allegedly put out was about to get cashed in. No questions asked. According to Whack 100, Drake bolted, straight up ran. Whack said he had to send someone to chase Drake down, calm him, and explain. Chill, bro. Those dudes, they're with us. They're here to protect you. That moment showed how real the paranoia had gotten. Drake was moving like a man who knew danger was following him, even when he was supposedly surrounded by allies. But by May 2015, the smoke seemed to clear, or at least, that's what the industry wanted people to think. Rumors circulated that Drake and Diddy had patched things up, and French Montana even claimed he was the one who helped broker the peace. Then Diddy went on The Breakfast Club and denied all the ugly chatter, brushing off the slap story and calling Drake a friend. The problem? Nobody bought it. The whole vibe screamed PR cleanup, not genuine friendship. When Charlemagne asked the question everyone wanted answered, so what made you put hands on Drake? Diddy laughed it off. Zero. That was a total rumor. But behind closed doors, insiders swore the energy stayed sour. Industry cool on the surface, ice cold underneath. And that's where things take an even darker turn. Because according to some insiders, the beef wasn't just about a beat, it might have also been about Cassie. Cassie, who later came forward with serious claims against Diddy, had long been described as someone he was controlling and obsessive about. And back in 2013, a rumor floated around that Drake was trying to bring Cassie over to OVO, maybe for music, maybe for management. Nobody knows if it was real or just talk. But in Diddy's world, perception is everything. And that kind of perception, enough to flip a switch. The internet receipts are still floating. People dug up an old tweet from Lil Duval, who wrote, "I heard Diddy swung on Drake in Miami for saying hello to Cassie." At the time, folks laughed it off like a wild rumor. But now, with everything Cassie has since alleged in legal filings about Diddy's behavior, that old tweet hits completely different. And that's when the whispers started shifting. Maybe the beef wasn't just about music politics. Maybe it was personal, fueled by jealousy, control, and paranoia. Which, if you connect the dots, lines up almost perfectly with those coded warnings Jay-Z gave Drake back on Light Up. The favors that turn into traps. The friendly faces masking betrayal. The traitors sitting at the table. Meanwhile, Drake did what Drake always does best: he let the music do the talking. Instead of clapping back directly, he laced up his bars with coded messages. On 4 p.m. in Calabasas, Drake turned the whole record into what felt like a mass industry memo. Lines like "all you self-promoters are janky" rang out like daggers. Shots at the snakes who tried to play him dirty. Then came the subtle but sharp shade. "Even the Oggs tryna press me." That wasn't random, that was Drake throwing little jabs at big targets. And when he mocked Diddy's legendary ad-lib with a sly "take that," that was a wink the whole block could read loud and clear. At the time, most brushed it off as subliminal rap politics. But now, with all the lawsuits, rumors, and receipts floating around, those dots connect differently. The tension, the flexes, the coded warnings, they were all baked into the music, hiding in plain sight. And the conversation doesn't stop at Drake versus about Diddy? More voices are asking, where does Jay-Z fit into all of this? Because Jay's name has been dragged into messy party rumors, lawsuits tied to Diddy, and speculation about who knew what and when. Suddenly, people are revisiting Jay's old lyrics not just as warnings to Drake, but as coded signals that he may have been playing his own survival game the whole time. Even Jaguar Wright, who's known for shaking the table with her explosive claims, once compared Jay and Diddy as being cut from the same cloth. Her words, they're the same sandwich, just different slices. And while critics call her outrageous, plenty of fans are buying into it. One user wrote, "People call her crazy because she's telling the truth. Love me some Jag. But this ain't just about Drake. This is about what Jay-Z knew and how long he might have been covering for Diddy." Which leaves us with the million-dollar question if those warnings Jay gave Drake were real. Then was Hov truly trying to protect the kid? Or was he just protecting his own empire, making sure he stayed ahead of whatever storm he knew was coming? What do you think? Were Jay-Z's subliminals the real receipts hiding in plain sight this whole time? And how deep did Hov's knowledge of Diddy's alleged twisted games really go? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because this one is messy. And trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. If you're all about unfiltered truth bombs and shocking receipts, make sure you hit that like, tap subscribe, and stay locked in. Because this saga between Drake, Diddy, and Jay-Z, it's nowhere near over.